Hello and welcome to the Adventure Archive. My name is Ryan, and I'll be your dungeon master tonight as we conclude our adventures in the Dark Kingdoms. With me, we have Matt as Victor of the Calder, the Human Death Cleric, Jess as Dariana Bloodright, the elf-marked Seraphage Sorceress, Jason as Cutter the Faithless, the Diriku Rogue Duelist, and Eric as Sylvester, the Dampier Warlock with the spy and devil familiar Annie. We also have Andy, previously played Beatum on our campaign, who mysteriously disappeared. He will be stepping in to play Corin Fleshrend for Cameron, who is unable to continue with us in the campaign. He is our Derecool Battle Master fighter, once a baby, you know. So, the Dark Kingdom takes place in the Midgard setting, which is published by Kobold Press. So you will notice some differences in some of the races, classes, features, and whatnot. And please be aware, this is an evil campaign containing evil aligned characters in a dark fantasy setting, and as such may not be suitable for some audiences. Graphic descriptions of gore, murder, mutilation, and torture are fairly common. So, how's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Good.
Excellent. Thank you, Sisla.
Good. I gotta see if who did you just give those to? Let's see.
Bane. What? You got a Bane.
One for Corin.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Corin does not have one. So let me make some adjustments for that.
Keep me alive for a round. Excellent. Maybe.
Where are you? There you are. Shield settings 1. And don't forget, you can only have one at a time. And then I got a Bane. Is that what it was too?
Yep, you got a Bane.
Ooh, so we're all at 6 to start. That's a decent number. That's a decent number going into a finale. So, this is the Dark Kingdoms, and this could be the finale of our 2.5-year campaign that started in my living room and kind of precipitated us streaming entirely. So, kind of the Adventure Archive kind of started out of this game. It started out of something else. So, interesting to see where we're at and where we've come and what's happened. So, announcements before we start. Jason, do you want to talk about anything happening this week, or did you want to wait to the end?
No, I mean, we can talk about it right now. So Thursday, we are kicking off Death in Space. So it's going to be our 0 session, where we're going to do character creation, a primer on the rules, just for those of us who do not know it. So, and then we will follow up with breaking into, I don't know, a mini campaign. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
That'll be with
Very
Ryan,
excited for that.
Jess, and Ducky.
The Thursday crew.
The first sci-fi game
and,
on the Adventure Archive, right?
Can't wait. I'm super excited. And I think that's going to lead to a couple other, if those plans come to fruition.
Yeah.
And for those that, hey, Grand Eldritch, thanks for the biddies. Where would you like those to go? For those that are not aware, myself and Hunter, who is not here, do a podcast on Sundays, and this past episode was our Death in Space episode. So if you do, prior to our 0 session, want to read through that with us and hear our take on it, go check that out on our YouTube channel. And yeah, so very excited for that. So as this game ends, another one will be beginning. And if for some reason the players survive tonight and the session does not end, we will pick up on Wednesday to do any, final wrap up or death or anything. Final deaths. Give everyone their scenes for the Banes. Yes. All right. Thank you so much for the Bane. So that'll be one more Bane for me. So, gosh, it's hard to get in because this could be the end. Anyone have anything else before we get going? We do have plans after this does finish to do a debrief episode, kind of like we did after I think it was the 25th episode that we had on stream, where we're all going to get together and sit down and kind of talk about the whole campaign, ask questions about what could have been and what happened, and kind of bring up our favorite parts and all that kind of stuff. So we'll plan that at some point sooner than later, whenever we're all going to be available to do that, and we'll kind of see how that goes. But otherwise, we're just going to head into the game. So, a quick 2.5-year recap. You guys, Cutter, with a party of people that have since died or left, was originally working for, gosh, what was his name?
Rodion.
Rodion, the glutton of
the only name I remember
Fat
in this
bastard.
game is Rodion.
Yeah, this big fat bastard who all of the original characters were working for in some way. After a quick test with a gym devil, the party was sent to capture an up-and-coming paladin from where?
Paranelia.
Paranelia. There we go. Ooh, I need more coffee.
You have that thing
After
full of
traveling
coffee?
across, oh god, I wish.
I was like, holy shit,
Kalen.
that's a
Yeah,
Nice.
that's how I wake up in the morning. You were sent to capture Dejana,
That's right.
an up-and-coming paladin in Paranelia, that the glutton of Hanksburg, not only for money or blood, but also for flesh in various different ways, had his eyes on. You, through many different trials, made your way across the kingdoms, picked up Dariana on the way as you battled a blood priestess, Sister Alcava, made your way across plains, got all the way to the capital city of Paranelia, and in what I think was probably the easiest thing you did in the entire campaign.
Mm-hmm. There were some lucky rolls.
Yeah. Captured her and brought her back to Hanksburg. Presented her to Rojan, and the very next day, King Lucan, the ruler of the entire vampire kingdom, showed up, bitch slapped him into obscurity, since you've never heard what happened to him since, took over and said, you are now, after almost starting a war, working for him. And he sent you to investigate a heretical sect of blood sisters, worshippers of Morena, called the Red Winter, which you were able to find in the bowels of the primary city of Midgard.
Yeah, Zobek.
And in Zobek, and also to figure out what or who was messing with the alliance between the Ghoul Imperium and the vampires. 10 years prior, they had allied and taken over the kingdom of Krakovar, expanding the vampires' hold on the surface world. You found out after having some visions and more trials and tribulations that the Archduke Avgost, who was actually the brother of the dead king of Krakovar, his blood was supposed to be used in some type of dark ritual that could potentially change the world. You tried to capture him a number of times, but he kept slipping through your grasp, and eventually he was taken into the underworld. You went to the Southlands after rumors that they had something that could help you exist within the underworld and travel around without being instantly murdered, since most of you are alive. Actually, realistically, only like 2.5 of you. Regardless, you found that. You found the Book of Anu Akma, and it's very footy ritual, apparently, that allows you to go down there. You met an ally who told you of a potential additional ally from the shadows who was helping you. They opened a key to the underworld, sent you down in, and then you have now been exploring the underworld, trying to make your way to, you didn't know where, but after meeting a thought to be dead king of the Ghoul Imperium prior to becoming the Empire, you found out it was Vandecool, which is the second biggest city in the kingdom, and it's controlled by Duke Drago Blackfly, someone from one of your guys' past, also the one that was doing machinations on the surface, and you found to be the person that Lucan sent you to find. You found he's allied with the High Priest of Vardasane, Radomir Marrowblight, who wants to bring around a theocracy of hunger. Duke Drago Blackfly wants to control the Empire and through some dark ritual of artisan, using Avgos blood that is supposed to happen to the 5th gong today, they're supposed to bring that about. It would disrupt the Empire, the Imperium, it would disrupt the Underworld, it would disrupt the entire world of Midgard, since this ritual is supposed to strengthen the ghouls, allowing them to potentially, you don't know what. While down here, you made enemies and allies. One of those frenemies, I guess, is a longtime friend of Dariana, the Countess Dallingen, who, in exchange for various things and as a partial punishment for not reaching out to your boss for quite some time, Dariana has been contracted basically to spend the next 10 years after you deal with this as a vampire in the service of Countess Dallingen. And in exchange, she is opening up an underground tunnel from her kind of fake church to Morena here in the Imperium, since she is disguised as somebody else, that will open up within the Bone Cathedral, which is the Church of Artisan where this ritual is supposed to take place. It will bypass the guards and hopefully give you a small advantage. At the end of our last session, you made your way to that church with slightly less than full heat, so the city is aware of your presence but not actively hunting you. And we're told that you need to wait until at least the 4th gong for church to let out, so you can be let down into this tunnel. That's where we begin our session.
So do we have an idea of approximately how long we have till the 4th bell?
You went there in the morning, I would say. I think we decided that there's 6 gongs a day. So it's every 4 hours there's one.
Okay. So it's morning right now, right?
Yeah, it's like morning, mid-morning. Yeah. Are there things that you would like to do prior to?
Oh, yeah.
So you are all here at number 18.
All of us? I believe Cutter and I are at the boat.
Oh, I thought you all got together after you left. Yeah. I think we did like a wrap up. Did you want to retcon and not connect back up and go there?
Oh, we're at 18. Never mind. I'm on board.
You're at the Temple of Agonizing Bliss. This is where Ludmilla, the disguised Countess Dallingen, had started a church kind of to watch the happenings here in Vancool and just be a presence down here. Countess Dallingen is previously within the vampire kingdom, is kind of constantly falling in and out of favor because of her machinations. She had fallen out and had regained favor by kind of strengthening the alliance with the Imperium and the vampires 10 years ago, and has since kind of been keeping an eye on the Imperium for Lucan in order to kind of stay in good standing. So she, I guess one of the many faces she puts on down here is this priestess Ludmilla, who runs the Temple of Agonizing Bliss. Again, I don't know if you all saw her. You guys had a nap on a couch.
Yeah.
Dariana met her. Yeah. And again, that is where she made her pledge to Dallingen in her servitude for a mere decade, which is just a blink in the eye of a vampire. So if you all want to be there, we can say it's the 2nd bell. But you are, again, the heat on the city is pretty high. What would you like to do prior to getting started or moving towards your goal? Sylvester, I think you said you had something you wanted to do.
Yeah, I see Andy about to say something though. So
I was going to add some RP fluff that Corin prepares for battle. He changes out of his mithril plate, half plate, and starts putting on his full plate, fully getting himself ready, wrapping his hands, making sure that his pole arm is situated and gleaming so that he's as gleaming as he possibly can get it, because at the same time he's kind of on the darker side of things too. But he's just getting himself psyched up to and in the mental state to fight, not saying much to anyone. That's all.
That's it. Good. Just a little fluffer, fluffing it up.
If they'll allow Victor to kind of have like a little corner of somewhere, because you're saying it's kind of a fake Morena temple anyways. He pulls out, I'm pretty sure like he still has this like gem-free like silver skull that was crushed by Chernobog the last time he asked for Chernobog's assistance. And he's just gonna go meditate and just pray a little bit. And so you notice like he makes like that little kind of shape with like the triangle and the skull, and he's just like deep in thought. It's not as like getting ready for battle as Corin appears to be, but he is like kind of, you can notice like he's got all of his armor and accoutrement on. He does not have the fancy clothing on anymore. Like he looks more like a person from the Ruthenian plane and less like a person from the underworld.
You're Kareving it up.
Correct.
Potential.
And like he's got his full, like the sash is out. He's got the blade that Dariana uses. And, he's just getting his mind right.
Nice. Any other preparations here? Also, is everyone wearing their DK swag? I see Sylvester wearing his own face on it. Is that
Borg.
Andy. He knows he's trying to get on the DM's good side.
It's in the wash.
It's not even cheese or anything?
No.
It's fine. It's whatever. It's just our last game. It's fine. It is a dope shirt though. Jason did a really good job with the logo.
That's the best one. Yeah, for sure.
It's so fucking good. So any other preparations you guys are making? I assume changing out of your clothes, anything?
So first thing I want to do is see through Annie and kind of check out where our boat is and anything out of the ordinary, any extra soldiers around or anything like that.
Why don't you roll me a perception check with her quick?
Okay. That's for her.
Remember what's in our merch store. For those watching, listening, or seeing on YouTube, we do have a pretty sweet merch store. Got some cheese merch. I put some weekly scroll stuff up there. The Dark Kingdoms, we have character faces for almost all of them. We got the sweet DK shirt. A little plug here at the end. Oh, I need to take that blood dice one down there. Don't buy that. It prints weird and gets all weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't really notice anything extra. I mean, it's the docks. There are guards around. There are all of the dock people that, like you spoke with when you first get off the boat that like tally people up and, take bribes and whatnot. But nothing extra out of the ordinary, nothing crazy.
And then what other types of ships are docked in there?
It's a number of there's like it's not a crazy high number, because don't forget, as you were coming in, that the water has seemed to have been almost closed. There was a no sail zone kind of, and you noticed as you passed the Chandelier Island in the middle that giant vessel was there, and the Duke's men and Radimer Marenblade's men were there. So there hasn't been a lot of traffic from like Fretlock to Vanderpool recently. So it's about, I would say it's about averagely filled, but nothing's left since you got here.
And because she's been on this boat for a couple of days now, does it seem like on the other boats people are staying on them, or?
It's a mix. I mean, obviously there's generally someone that stays on each one, but when they're docked, they're generally mostly getting off, and any ones that stayed there, at least as long as you guys has disembarked their merchandise and stuff like that. Okay. So but it seems like things have been able to come in, but nothing's been able to go. But not a lot has come in at all.
Okay.
So
she's going to tell our little friend ghouls that are on board that they have to stay on board today, and orders may come to make sail, and they need to be at the ready.
So okay, that works.
And then what I want to do is the Dariana's buddy, forgot her name.
Ryan's man.
Dollingen?
It's Dollingen or
yeah.
Ludmilla.
So I want to seek her out really quick.
So the whole thing of you not being able to see her yet is because she's leading church services and stuff. So you guys are kind of tucked away right now because the church is actively in use. It's not just that you just can't go till whatever. You guys got there in the morning, but she said basically she holds, whether it's fake or not. I mean, she is a vampirist and she does worship Morena, so it's not entirely out of the question. Except she probably does it with a sense of irony and occasional veiled sarcasm.
Keep going.
But double click the autofocus in the little thingy. Yeah. She said the services go till 4:00 basically. So you can talk to some of the underlings, like the woman that you met in the outpost. She is one of the ones in the front that kind of drugged you guys last time.
So
but you guys have been, you guys have been tucked
bit
away
about,
into like a side chamber. Yeah.
Okay, and she knows a little bit about what's going on, right?
Enough to answer some simple questions, not everything necessarily.
Okay, so I'll approach her.
Okay. You are tucked away into a side room. If you want to kind of like knock on the door a little bit, someone will come kind of attend you. Sure, and we'll say she walks up to it and it's just like kind of peeks it open a little bit.
I am in desperate need of a sampling of Drago Blackfly's writing. Do you have anything, any statements he's made, or where I can find it?
I can does not worship at this church. I can only imagine that maybe in his palace, and that is about it. His actual handwriting? I mean, I would have no way of providing that to you.
All right. I'd say fine, and I shut the door.
Was it his handwriting on that thing that we got at the castle like a long time ago? Like when we raided that place with the ghoul horses and Andy went ham. Was that
Go hams? Go ham and
we
chat.
had like a scroll or something like that was written by somebody, but I don't remember if it was Blackfly or if it was a different.
It was like a letter of announcement. I doubt that he wrote it himself.
It wasn't him. Okay.
It would probably be like a scribe or something writing it for him.
Gotcha.
Was it in Derrickle?
I don't remember. I just remember like there's something that we had. I think it's over here in the. Let me see. It's I guess it's not in our items anymore, so it doesn't matter.
The Grimslade document.
Yeah, it was like a document that we got that was like a proof that we had for it was something was going on before we rode the horses out of there. Like the skin bats and like that was kind of a crazy. But yeah, okay.
You're the note taker.
Yeah, I don't see it on the item, so.
I'll tell you, I've already forgot half of this campaign, so I rely heavily on your notes to remember things and still don't. So, not sure.
All right. Let me see if
I think within your machinations in the city, the option to go into his palace was there, and you guys chose not to take it, and that's probably where you would find it. Otherwise, you know, the palace itself is one of the most heavily guarded places you saw the entire time. There is, at least from your knowledge of things going bad, especially, a good chance that if things are to go bad or something does hit the fan, it seems to be pretty heavily fortified with a number of different types of guards and things as a potential fallback point is what it looks like more than anything.
Okay, so that proclamation we had though, that was a
It was
ghoul one?
Yeah, it was go. I could see it here in my notes. It was Grimslade Ghost Knights, some crazy princess of the Ghost Knights, some shit. So it was like a. It was
Oh,
No,
yeah.
those
It was
are
like not Blackfly. It was like a different dude that was
so
kind of.
so the Ghost Knight, especially after the Alliance 10 years ago, can be made up of both Daracool and
Yeah.
vampires. But at that place that you were talking about, the fort, they had
Yeah.
slowly gotten rid of everyone that wasn't a Daracool over time, and then that's when Duke Drago started basically flying his standard there. That's what you guis saw. That was one of
That's
your
what we
early indicators
saw.
that he
But
was.
that wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
his handwriting. Okay.
But I think you're talking about I think it's Hristana, something like that. She is the actually head of the Ghost Knights and the army of the vampires and the combined forces of
Okay.
of the when they took over 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help us. It's like not his handwriting. So sorry, Eric.
No, that's okay. As long as it's a ghoul thing, that might work. But it's not going to work either. Okay, so new plan. So the other night when we were walking after we got kicked out of that bar, along the way, we came across kind of a drunken, passed out Daracool or ghoul. Recall?
Yeah, the homeless guy in the bar. The I can't remember the name of the lowest level of ghoul here in the Imperium, but they're the ones that are basically like just bag of bones because they're so far down on the food chain. But yeah, you charmed a ghoul in an alley.
I cast thrall on him. So I can
actually though, did we just learn that ghouls are immune to charm?
Thrall's different though, isn't it? And I remember reading.
It doesn't matter. You did it. It's fine. You were able to go past his charmedness. We're not going to retcon all the way back to there. We'll say that his lack of feeding for so long, even if that is a thing, made him susceptible. Let's see. Immune to charm. Let's check another Let's check the Daracool stats. Immune to charm. Okay. But sure, you did it with this guy. And what do you want to do with him?
So with Create Thrall, I can communicate with him telepathically.
Okay.
And so I want to send him over to our new friend whose mansion we went to, sorry, all my notes are everywhere. Where is it?
Is it an actual friend?
The Duke.
Yeah, it's
Marquis,
hold on.
the Marquis.
The Marquis, Laszlo or something. I got it right here.
Okay, yeah, Laszlo Dema.
Yeah, Laszlo Dema.
The previous head of one of the most important legions within the Imperium.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm sending him there.
Okay. He makes his way there.
Okay, and I want him to. I know the guards will stop him, but because I can talk to him telepathically, so I'm gonna say, tell him you need to speak to the Marquis on behalf of his new friends in town.
Okay.
It went pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think it went pretty well. And you did say you were going to try to send some type of signal. So you this literal bottom feeder within the Imperium is definitely not taken to the Marquis. Barely brought within the front doors, and the Marquis shows up kind of at the far opposite side of the hall. And what did you want him to say or do?
I want him to say, today is the day. At the fourth bell?
Fifth
Fifth bell. fifth bell. But our friends need to know if you have anything in the writing of Drago Blackfly.
Thinks a bit. He says, doesn't say anything. Fucking piece of shit ghoul that doesn't even get hunger rights. But just leaves and goes back somewhere within. And he comes back, and he actually does have a letter in his possession. It appears to be a letter written from Blackfly to this person, and they hesitantly hand it over to you. And if you can telepathically read or understand what this guy is saying as he reads it, it is a kind of curt dismissal from Blackfly to Laszlo Dumas. It is a letter that kind of took the leadership of his legion away from him, written by Duke Drago Blackfly. And he just kind of like hesitantly lets it go to you.
So,
or to your thrall.
Right,
thrall.
So I'll tell him he is an asshole and he will get his.
Just walks away from him.
Okay. And I'm going to tell my new friend through his mind, I said, you've done well. Bring it to whatever the Church of Marina that we're at.
Temple of Agonizing Bliss?
Yes. Yeah. You'll be rewarded. Make haste.
Okay. Yeah. The entirety of that takes a decent amount of time. Also, the fact that, he's basically dragging himself a lot of the time, barely able to stand, since he doesn't feed often. And after, gathering himself enough to do all of that, it takes some time. But he gets there. It's definitely pushing towards the fourth bell by the time you decide your plan and do all of that. But I assume you're going to alert somebody that
I'll knock on the
Derek
door.
will be showing up.
Yeah, I knock on the door and tell them I'm expecting something.
Yeah. And then there's a knock on your door. It's the
and
same
I give the person, I say that somebody's coming, I give them a couple gold to give the person delivering the letter.
Thrall.
Okay.
A thrall, yeah.
All right.
Nice.
So that exchange happens. The thrall has some gold, and there's a knock on the door. When you open it, a piece of paper is kind of sent in through the crack in the door.
So
and you have a letter.
I'm gonna tell my thrall. I'm gonna say, you've done well, my friend, and there are even greater riches awaiting you. The society has shunned you for too long. We should not take care of our own like this. Gather all those you know, those that are like you, that are outcast and shunned, and await my signal. And when I tell you, you shall all attack that symbol that's against everything that our society should stand for. And you're going to go to the pleasure barge and burn it down. A new regime begins. Yeah.
Okay.
A new regime begins.
They did put the heat on us, right? Oh no, that was the food.
Yeah. So specifically, you mean the pleasure barge of the ally you didn't go visit that Narasane told you about?
Yep. That one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Why don't you just, sure. Fuck yeah. Unbeknownst to you, whether he succeeds at this or not, you might find out later. Not only is he enthralled to you, but even through the enthralling, you've triggered something in his little pea brain. And with his gold, one of the first things he does is buy some flesh that strengthens him a little bit. And then he goes about finding other disgruntled, forgotten members of the Imperium within Vandecool. Do me a favor and roll a d20.
The uprising. This is awesome.
keep going to the wrong thing. Just a D20, huh?
Just slash roll 1d20. Yep.
19.
Damn,
And
bro.
what's your charisma modifier?
Straight charisma is plus 10.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So you send him on his way. Does anyone else have any preparations that you would like to do?
Victor has a few things.
I'm working on a piece of paper, by the way.
Okay.
When we get closer to like 4 bells, Victor will come out of prayer, and he's gonna put aid on 3 of the party members, and he's gonna put a death ward on one other one.
Okay. Pick him.
Oh,
okay. Oh, go ahead. What's up, Eric?
Yeah.
I was going to say, one of our Dericool, I need help with. I need one of their help while I'm transcribing and writing.
Okay. So
Sure.
Victor kind of he kind of finishes up, and then he wraps up that crushed silver skull that kind of has the imprint of Chernobog on it. He's asked for strength, then he comes out and he has a spell called Aid, which will bolster 3 of my allies. It'll give him a hit point maximum and current hit point increase of 5 for the duration. He's actually going to cast it, I think, because I have pretty awesome level spells. I think I'm going to go level 3 on this one. So they're going to each get 10 hit points, and then their max is raised by 10 for 8 hours, which should get us to the bell and beyond. So he's going to put that on Cutter and on Corin and then on Sylvester. And then for Dariana specifically, the blood armor, he kind of shows her the dagger and he's ready, when she is to. Does that last for 8 hours for you, the blood armor? When you do that?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay. So he kind of just looks at you, kind of has the dagger, puts it in his sash, so he's ready to do it. And then for the other guys, he was just kind of standing around them, but for Dariana, he kind of just puts his hand on her shoulder. In Kariv, speaks the words, "May the Dark Lord give you strength," and you feel this measure of protection from death come over you. The first time you drop to 0 hit points. If you do tonight, you instead drop to 1 hit point, and then the spell will end. Does that make sense? And I'll slap it up in there. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dariana has a death ward on her, and the other 3 people have plus 10 hit points, and then your max is raised by 10. And I'll burn 2 spell slots.
Sounds good. That is the cleric in action. Sylvester, as we approach the 4th bell, was there any other machinations with the letter or anything?
Yeah, so I needed one of our Dericool friends to help me because I don't actually speak Dericool.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
Corin's happy to.
Okay, perfect. So writing out a letter, and you're going to help me do it, but I'm just doing it in his hand. And then I'll seal it up because I have all my forgery tools and things. I say we need to deliver this to the soldiers, the heads, whoever's in that bar that you were in the other night. Probably be a different group. I'm hoping there's some there.
And you want me to do this?
No, not necessarily. What do you think is the best way? Do we send it by a courier or do we send it?
I would know if there was a courier service, if I could.
there is not.
Yeah, I can't just walk outside and be like, "You flesh thing, take this gold and deliver this here," because most likely they'd be like, "If I go there, I'm gonna be dead." So,
I mean, if you want this to just go to a bar, that is something that the vampiress of the Temple of Agonizing Bliss can accomplish for you.
But I want it to appear like it's coming from the Dragon Blackfly, which is the trick.
Why don't you roll me just a flat deception check?
Okay.
Not flat, just roll a deception check.
21.
If you explain this to the vampiress, she gets this kind of quirk in the corner of her mouth, and she said, "This can be done." And it just takes a letter from you.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to you, they have their own machinations and process at all times, as Countess Dallingen would. There are plenty of Daracool on the payroll, and it does not take much to get a paid-off soldier to make their way to the Temple of Agonizing Bliss, to pick up the letter, and to drop it off at the bar.
Smart thinking.
Do I need to know what the letter says? Is this going to come up later? Do you want to message me?
No, you should probably know what it says, and my colleague would know because he helped me write it. It says, today is a very important day for us, and outsiders have been sent to disrupt our plans. Not exactly sure who they are, but they will fail. I have it under good authority that they are currently in the Fleshling Quarter. So gather what men you need, go there, and leave none alive. Those that are loyal to us are already safe. Make haste and enjoy the feast. Drago Blackfly.
I would like another deception check at disadvantage.
Okay. So what do I click for disadvantage?
Control.
Yeah.
23 and 30. Jeez.
Yes. It might be broken.
Well, you guys are like level, what, 16?
15.
Yeah. This is why I think the bulk of people don't play past 10, right? Isn't that the stat?
Well, basically, unless you're fighting gods, it's impossible to not. I mean, you literally can't fail on like 90% of your rolls.
Exactly. My stealth stuff, yeah.
Let me check one thing real quick. No. It would be impossible for them to beat beyond a 22. So, at least those in this quote-unquote pop bar of the soldiers and things like that, they get this letter, they pass it around, they take it to their superior, who begins to rally some of these people, those that have not been already assigned throughout the city, and we'll see what machinations come from that as well. As Sylvester starts to pick and prod and poke at the root of the city here. So,
Okay.
yeah. So as you send that letter off, though, the fourth bell rings. From within your kind of like side chamber, you hear the shuffle of footsteps as supplicants leave the Temple of Agonizing Bliss. And when all of that is done, after a couple of minutes, you all enter into the Temple of Agonizing Bliss. You can all walk in if you would like.
I do. Let's go.
Let me just make sure you're all red card and blue carded correctly. Tell me if I'm wrong. Victor, I have you with a red and a blue.
Correct.
Yep. Jess, I have you with a red. And then Sylvester, I have you with a red and a blue.
Oh, I thought it was.
But I don't have a red down here. I only have a blue.
I thought you used that on me.
I think you used it on them a couple sessions ago.
Gotcha. And for those of you who don't remember, Matt, you have a blue that can turn a hit into a miss.
Yes,
or a crit into a regular hit. Eric, you have a fortuitous circumstance.
Actually, I think you're behind on these.
Did you already use that?
I used that. Now I have a 1d10 on a save.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he used the fortuitous for
Uh-huh.
it was something like on the barge.
I used
the
that
meat
a little
barge.
while ago, and I have a
Plus
plus
1d10
on a save.
on a save. All right. For those, can I get an exclamation point luck? Oh, 20
Yes.
sides to every story. Thank you so much for the raid. Hello.
Yeah.
How are you doing? We are in the process of wrapping up a 2.5-year Evo campaign. As the party, after a prologue, is beginning their descent towards trying to stop a dark ritual that would allow ghouls to potentially take over the world. So they are in a church of a vampiress, preparing themselves and getting moving forward, and we are just kind of wrapping up some kind of pre-stuff. Thank you, Janelle. And we are using the Fate and Fortunes deck from Nord Games to do that. So you only have a blue. Oh, so it looks like the tokens are right, though. You have an inspiration and a blue. Cutter, you don't have anything. Corin, you have an inspiration.
While you're at it,
you have... Yeah.
I need control of Corin.
Oh, that'd probably be good, huh? Controlled by... There you go.
I like it says, "Hi Sylvester?" ? It's
Yeah.
because we're not sure his real name still.
Yeah, still.
After 50,
Even the name
60
he gave
episodes.
is... Yeah. So does that look right to everybody? Everyone's tokens are correct based on what I said?
Yeah.
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 All
good.
right. So a couple of inspirations. Don't forget to use them. It's just a free reroll whenever you feel like, and you can do it after the fact because doing it beforehand is a fucking waste. And don't forget blesses and banes. What was our rule on that? Are we declaring them beforehand? Is that what we decided?
That's what I did in Merkborg. With
Yeah, I think
you
so.
want to do.
Yeah. So declare them beforehand, prior to the roll. For those again that don't know, if you check out below in our channel, blesses and banes can be used with channel points or bits to give the characters basically the spell bless or bane. I get a bane. I get to roll a d4 and take it off their roll. Players can roll a bless and take that off of or add that to their roll prior to knowing whether they hit or miss. And that's where we're at. So you all enter into the Temple of Agonizing Bliss. You see a number of the countesses or the vampiresses that worship within the church. And at the head, you see the Countess Dallingen. And she says to you, it appears to be that time. I feel like Vandhul is going to get quite interesting in the next hour or two.
Hopefully interesting. And
Victor hasn't seen in here before, but I'm assuming those pools that look like blood are blood.
Oh yeah, for sure, the blood.
So
Yeah,
Victor kind of whispers to Dariana, Dariana, we need as much strength as we can today. Is Brian full? This might not be the worst time to perhaps top him off. Yes? 'Cause I think he was like at 75 hit points or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that would work, but I guess we can try.
Oh, it has to be fresh kill.
I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't know. What do you think, Ryan?
Blood's blood. Suck
There
it
we
up.
go. Nurse.
All right, I'm gonna let Brian free.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you free Brian, he makes his way towards these vats of blood here in the middle. And after sticking one of his
Toes.
himself into it, fucking
He has toes? I don't even
his
know he
fucking
had
blood
toes.
toes. He's got
Blood
one
toes.
giant toe that just
Oh.
extends out of the blood elemental body and sucks up the blood like a straw. We can say that you are you top him off, and he is at max HP. I just need to find him. I have no idea where Brian is, so we're gonna get a new Brian.
I mean, I have a feeling we're gonna need every trick we got.
Yeah, probably.
And we haven't seen Brian in a while. Like, it's looking big.
Yeah, he should be part of this.
Just to find. Oh, I can. You know what? I can just search in here. Brian. We got no token called Brian. Tokens,
Y.
PCs. That's the problem. It's with a Y. I still have no token. Where are you, Brian?
Probably the last time we saw him was like before we went into the underworld, because it was like water everywhere down here. It's been a while.
Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I found a Brian. All right. There's a Brian. And it's an eye on here. I'm just throwing it out there. What's the potential max hit points for the Blood Elemental?
95, I think. Let me get my folder.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to update him to a 95 on his little health bar. All right. So,
Yeah.
friends, 95. So, you are all beginning your descent. The Countess says, "Are you prepared? We've had the day, done what you need to do."
Doesn't matter if we're prepared or not. It's the time.
Regardless of the outcome, I am prepared either way, as I always am. Diana, you know that quite well. I'm excited for you to succeed, though. Our next decade should be quite interesting together.
Yes, if I don't die first.
Yeah, well, try not to, and if you do, I'll find you. I'll get use out of you one way or another.
I believe you owe me my book.
Hmm.
Did I not give that back to you already? Isn't...
Did she?
Oh, I don't remember. If she didn't, she coyly pulls the book out from its place, holds it out.
Yeah.
Come closer and take it. I won't bite you yet. Now, all of you, if you could follow me, I will lead you to the tunnels. She actually takes you through an area in the back of the church. I know the map doesn't lead that way, but to a kind of what looks like an old statue of Marina, maybe one that was like replaced with something else. And after she touches a spot on the wall, it slides aside and you are led into a tunnel. There are these dark, I mean, most of you can see anyway, these dark tunnels underneath. It fits one person in a line. And
I think we all can because we're ghouls.
Yeah, right now. And that's the other thing. Are you maintaining your Daracool appearance at this point? I assumed you guys kind of topped up the toe ritual at some point today as well. So you all appear as Daracool using the Book of the Dead from Anu Akma.
It protects us from the stench, and it lets me see in the dark at least.
There you go. So you guys are not affected by ghoul stench while that appearance is up, correct?
Correct.
And just to go over that one more time so you guys all know exactly what you get from it, since it could be important. You have dark vision to a range of 60 feet. You're immune to the stench trait of gas and Daracool. In addition, you have advantage on saving throws against non-magical toxic gases or other odors. You have a ghoulish countenance, which you've already decided, and the benefits last for 24 hours. So you guys are all good for quite a while after your toey business. So you're led in there by one of these vampiresses to a space large enough for all of you very tightly to congregate, not in a line. Basically enough for her to kind of go around and head back the other direction. And this is it. This is, she tells you, a a space into a side room within the Bone Cathedral that many within the cathedral itself are unaware of. Somehow.
Mm.
She tells you how to open the door. It's a simple mechanism, and you can decide when you would like to do that. And why don't we, prior to that, take our break just a little bit early for the evening? So we'll be back in just like 5-ish minutes to actually get going here in the Bone Cathedral of Vardasane. So see you in just a moment, people. Hello and welcome back to the Dark Kingdoms here on the Adventure Archive. The party is making their way from the Temple of Agonizing Bliss into the bowels of the Bone Cathedral. I misspoke a little bit. There is actually a series of tunnels, and you are guided through that to this door. So the Bone Cathedral people are aware of it, but it is just a catacomb of tunnels that infest the bottom of Vandacool. This door itself was closed, but you were able to be guided to it, and it is open. It appears it has not been open in quite some time. The party is trying to stop a dark ritual from taking place here in the temple to Vardasane, the god of hunger, deep within the underworld in the Ghoul Imperium, in the city of Vandacool, controlled by Duke Drago Blackfly and his new ally, Radomir Marrowblight, the high priestess of Vardasane, as they attempt to bring about a kingdom of hunger, wresting control of the empire from the Emperor Nisephoros, and probably just eating everybody. You know, that's what ghouls do. So as you guys enter this doorway from these catacombs, you go up a flight of stairs. And again, you all have dark vision, so you're able to see that you enter into a small room. You're not able to see it yet, but you will in just a moment.
Did you say we went up a stairs?
We did go upstairs.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, the tunnels are tunnely.
Cool.
Where should I move the camera, Ryan? Where we gonna be?
Let me open it up and then I'll
Okay.
kind of move it in the general direction for you.
Okay.
It kind of pull it that way. Can you see you?
Oh, there we go. Yep, I do.
Jammed in there, huh?
Yeah, it is a small room. You find yourself walking up a set of worn steps that lead from the network of musty tunnels you were just led to in these catacombs to this door. The door seems to, like I said, it has not been opened in quite some time. And you were guided, and there was nothing along the way. As you enter the room, you see a door both in front of you and to the side of you right here. What would you like to do?
Are they just kind of standard stone doors, or?
Yeah, they're just super regular looking doors.
Did she not give us any direction on which way to go?
She did not. She led you to this door. She knows, again, the door has not been open in quite some time. When it was opened by you guys, it was covered in cobwebs and dust and stuff like that. She knows of the location of this door, but not necessarily, you know, what you're going to find on the other side, except you are within the Bone Cathedral, like deep within the Bone Cathedral itself.
Okay. I want to really quickly use my Staff of Parzalon and cast Locate Creature.
Okay.
And I'm trying to locate Duke Avgust.
Describe or name a creature that is familiar to you. You've at least been in his dreams. You sense the direction to the creature's location as long as it's been 1,000 feet of you. If the creature is moving, you know. Okay. You do sense a general direction, and let's just say up is north and down is south for the sake of it. You get a southwesterly sense of direction.
Okay.
I don't know if it gives you much more than just the general direction if it's within 1,000 feet, right? Yeah. You sense the creature's direction. Yeah. So yes, southwest.
I'll share that with the group.
I assume we're whispering.
Beg your
And,
pardon?
and Corin is standing very still, trying
Yeah,
not to move
so
very
is-
much.
So is Victor, and he kind of whispers, Cutter, do you want to listen at doors, perhaps hear what is beyond door?
Sure. Victor said south, so I will check the south door. Oops.
So Sylvester.
Yeah. So I'm gonna check this south door. I'm gonna listen at the door.
Okay. Why don't you roll me investigation?
Can I give him the guidance on that?
If that is a spell that you have, sure.
What does the guidance do?
The guidance. Oh shit! You know what? That might be my other cleric.
Yeah.
I don't have guidance. Sorry. Death cleric.
Oh God.
You have a red card?
Nope.
Oh shit!
You do now. Can I get an exclamation point luck in the chat, please? So the players get to know what their blue cards are. When they roll an ability check and get a nat 20, they get a blue card in the Fate and Fortunes deck, which is a good thing for them. And when they get a nat 1, it's a bad thing. The players can always see what they got from their blue cards, but I get to know what they got on the red cards. Boom. All right. Let me add that in real quick.
Shit, that worked well.
Yeah. So as you are trying to listen at the door, Victor remembers this spell he heard of sometime, and tries to cast it on you. He puts a hand on your shoulder, but as he's kind of walking towards you and reaching out to try to attempt to give you guidance, he trips, falls into you, and you both bundle against the door, causing this big thud and this heavy clunk of armor against that door.
Sweet.
Those
Does
are
it
the
fall?
pillows.
Does it push open, or are we just like smash up against it?
You smash up against it, but you smash up against it. Like you hear this resounding thud against the door and the clunk of Victor's armor incredibly loudly against that door.
Okay.
Immediately. And from the other side, you then actually hear this voice. You can't quite make it out, but you do hear a voice closer and a voice a little farther away. It's kind of a sound of alarm, almost just like, what the fuck was that? Kind of. I also can imagine as Victor is like smashed up against the door, kind of going, sweet.
Yeah,
like,
sweet.
Yeah, awesome. Good fucking job. Let me add red to your.
We don't have
roll.
beat him, so he's kind of channeling beat him, right? That was beat him's thing back in the day.
Yeah.
They could have
Oh,
fallen
yeah.
off.
Well, you
the
got a lot of
tree.
heavy armor users here. Yeah. Red card settings. You have one. Gotta remember to use your red cards. I'm gonna keep them out in front of me. We'll put the box right there so I can see them. And I'll remember to use them. So, as you bundle up against that door, I'll give you a quick chance to react to that mistake. If you want to do something quickly, otherwise,
So I just kind of want to
voices
like.
start to get closer.
I just want to get tuck myself in this corner right here. Can I tell which way the door opens? Is it like I guess it would open from the left side, right? It looks to
Yeah, it would
be.
open.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, it would open outward.
All
yeah.
right, then I'm just gonna back up over here.
Dude, most doors open outward or inward from room to room?
Depends on which side of the
Inward,
door.
I think, right?
Like normally into
Yeah.
like bedrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like,
If this was a
I've
room
never been
that
in a
was not
dungeon, though.
used often,
Oh,
it would
okay.
be.
So it
in.
opens towards you. Yeah, it opens towards you.
Okay.
I'm gonna quickly cast some visibility on. I can not Cutter, but me. 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest of us. So
You can do it on Cutter. And
Corin,
I
I'm
can do it
guessing
on
we
me.
should switch spots since I'm the one that fell on him.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Andy? Yeah.
Sounds good.
Put me in the shit zone.
And is this here? Is this
Yeah.
this is a wall, right? That's bordering the
Yeah,
staircase.
this is a stairway that you guys came up. and then this is the small room that you're in.
All right. Well, I'll just go back here and peek around the corner then. See what's.
Oh,
coming.
like get on the stairs.
Yeah, I
and-
guess so. Yeah,
well,
just like on the very edge, like cover.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Never mind.
you, Dariana, quickly cast invisibility on yourself, and Sylvester, you do the same thing to everybody else. Okay.
Yeah. So we're all invisible.
So
I
you
guess,
all suddenly just become invisible, or everyone becomes invisible to all of you. And I assume you say, "Hey, you're all fucking invisible now." And then it's probably best not to move. And as you do that, the door bursts open. And in walks an armored ghoul. Heavily armored. And with this crest on its helmet and everything, you know this style of ghoul, we'll say, is an iron ghoul. The door bursts open, and they walk in, and behind them you see a second one. And you get a brief glimpse behind that as well. When the door bursts open, and you see, we'll say, a little bit of a glimpse, what appears to be a hallway behind them. And
Is there
they
just
look around.
is there just two of them?
There's two that you can see, and the door bursts open. It's their hand on the handle, so they're still holding it kind of right in the doorway itself, looking around. What's your spell? Let's see what a perception check does. Let's go with this. Looks in, looks towards the other door, looks towards the stairs, looks back at the guy behind him. And for those that can understand Derek Ghoul, you hear them mention something about where the sound could have come from if it wasn't from this room. They're like, I don't know what the fuck that was, basically, is what they're saying to each other. And then you hear them mention something about bloated ghouls. It's probably the next room over. Those disgusting, overblown creatures.
Does that
And they
sound familiar to me? Like a bloated,
ghoul?
Do I know what that is?
Yeah, you would have known what a bloated ghoul is. A bloated ghoul is a creature that has you would almost say Rodion was a bloated ghoul.
Okay.
They feed so far beyond the point of necessity that they just become filled with rotten meat and bones.
Gotcha.
And with that, the door closes behind them, as you can see kind of the look of disgust on both their face. Because who doesn't love flesh? But you know, there's a point where it becomes too much in the ghoul society and ghoul culture to. I mean, the hunger laws are there for a reason. It's to make sure everybody gets fed. So creatures that go above and beyond are often seen with disdain from others for taking meat that could be more spread throughout the empire. The door closes behind them. But they are now on very high alert.
Okay.
And you're all invisible. What do you want to do?
I want to move to this door. I want to sniff. I want to see if I can smell bloated ghouls.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Why?
I
Gonna
can't.
be
I
not less
can't.
than a
I can't
25.
hear. So apparently, I want to try to see if I can smell these guys.
You could hear just fine until your ally burst. I thought it was going to be a 2, and I was going to laugh so hard. But even with the 2, you probably still would have passed. So as you sniff at the door, you get a bunch of smells. I need to get the those candle people for the candles I used to burn.
Oh yeah.
I had a sweet one that would work here, but we should get like a blood one too.
Ghoul stank.
Like a copper scented one. For those of you that ever smelled big puddles of blood.
Oh, man.
It is It is quite metallic. You get a whiff of it. It's not overwhelming by any stretch of the imagination, but with that kind of roll and with your Daracool nose that sniffs out blood, you do get a hint of it. But what you get more is just the smell of catacombs, stone.
Okay, just catacombs.
You know,
okay.
maybe a waft of kind of an incense ish.
But I don't smell
you know?
any like sign of bodies or anything nearby. Anything living. It's mostly like stone.
You get a hint of it. Just a whiff. You're like the undercurrent of this air has a hint of flesh or blood or something that just tickles the back of your nose. But mostly it's just this. Yeah. So
okay,
it's that 24th note, you know. But yeah, so basically from that you can tell you don't think that right on the other side of this door is a massive pile of blood, bones, or anything.
And there's no light or anything coming from around the cracks of the door or anything, right? It's just completely.
There's not a lot of. I mean, everything is dark vision, so there's not a whole lot of light a lot of places. Yeah.
I don't smell anything this way. Maybe we have some more distance to cover before we encounter anything.
Corin gives a little nod, like, go ahead and take a peek.
All right, so I want to.
You can't see your nod because you're invisible.
Oh, that's right.
Oh shit! So I'm just talking to invisibility in the room, I guess.
Yeah.
And
You're talking to nothing.
Okay.
Take a peek.
Well, I'm gonna. I guess I hear that.
I'll whisper, okay.
Okay.
So
sorry. Go ahead.
So here's the other thing too with your invisibility. Where your token is where your token is. If I start moving a token to a location, it is because that creature is moving to that location. Although you're invisible, you can still be heard and you can still be felt. Those of you that move with disadvantage because you're wearing heavy armor, if you want to dodge quickly out of the way, take a step as something moves towards you, you're going to be making rolls to see if you give up your location with that. So just so you guys are aware, since invisibility is an important thing, where every single token is where every single token is. So be aware of where your token is at all times.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm gonna open the door. Crack. A crack's worth. Take a look.
Just a crack's worth.
Just a crack's worth.
A crack's worth.
Oh, we're back, baby.
Full circle, baby.
That's been a while.
Love the throwback.
We're gonna need to start measuring things in metric dudes for the finale.
Metric dudes. I measure my normal life in metric dudes.
And those iron ghouls that came in, were they a metric dude or were they bigger?
They were a regular metric dude. Most things are regular metric dudes. Brian is like, at this point, since he got topped up, is like a metric dude and a quarter, metric dude and a half. So as you kind of get a little peek through the door, you get a little peek through the door here. Little peek-see.
Okay.
Little peek-see into a room. You see what appears to be large stone pillars, or a large stone pillar here and here in the room. You see a tiled floor. These large tiles that appear to have this symbol on them. And you get what appears to be the edge right here of some type of raised platform. You're not sure what's on it. It seems to be potentially roundish, but that's as far as you see as the door cracks open.
Okay. And do I hear anything now that I have the door open at all?
As the door cracks open a little bit, you do hear the sound of chanting.
Oh. Shit. Okay. And it sounds very nearby, or does it sound kind of distant?
Very, very, very nearby.
Okay. So I'm assuming then everybody, well, maybe people in this room can hear it once I open the door a little bit?
Yeah. Everybody can hear it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna close the door gently, and I guess I'm going to whisper to the nothingness behind me. Actually, the chanting. Sorry. Is it in Daracool or is it some language I don't understand?
Yes.
It
No,
is
no,
in
no,
Daracool.
absolutely in Daracool.
Can I understand it? I mean, or is it just like
Yeah.
nonsense?
It's kind of like it's a bit of the whole like in nomine patris like kind of like intonations and things like that. And as you do that, or as you hear it, it's a series of phrases that basically say things like to our Lord of Hunger, all flesh to you. Bless us with your otherworldly might, things like that. Fill our bellies and provide us, and we will, bring about your works and your words.
Got it.
And it's just a repetitive bit of that.
And those symbols on the floor I saw, did they mean anything to me, or they just seem decorative?
A little bit decorative, a little bit artisan-y.
Okay. So I'm gonna whisper to the darkness, or not the darkness, but the emptiness behind me, where hopefully my companions
Whisper to
still
the
are.
darkness.
Yeah. Well, it appears there's some ritual going on in the other room. Means nothing to me, but I could investigate further.
Well, I heard the chanting. Could you tell how many were in there?
I don't know, Ryan. Was it like 5, 10? Or no?
It sounds like one voice is kind of reverberating right now.
Oh, okay. One voice. There are some pillars in there. I could put. Well, I'm invisible. What the fuck am I talking about? So we could go have a look inside. Is there any way to bar the door where the other ghouls are?
You don't really see anything that's, I mean, if you have like a 10-foot pole or anything like that, but you don't really see anything besides what appears to be just like a simple doorknob or handle, and
It opens
the
towards
door
us,
that
though.
opens in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could
Maybe
try to-
till we clear out the next room, maybe Brian can hold it shut, just in case.
He's beefy.
Yeah.
Probably more quiet than Armor.
Mm-hmm.
frothy, but
Frothy.
Yeah.
so
All
Brian's gonna hold the door.
Brian will do it.
All right.
Dude, he's already paying off. Got the extra weight on him.
All right, I'm gonna get a closer look inside. Wait here. So I'm gonna slink inside and try to conceal myself behind that first pillar I saw outside the door.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a stealth check? Yeah.
Stealth
Because you're
check.
opening this door. Yeah, you're opening the door and moving in. So the door
Right.
itself, potentially not being used.
That's cool.
All those
okay.
things.
Ooh, crit!
Oh shit!
I think you're okay. I think you're pretty solid.
35. Oh my god.
Does that mean I get a blue card?
Take it away.
That is
Yeah.
a blue card, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, that gets to go with my
Oh,
red
that was
card.
gangster.
Yeah. So Cutter, you you now have a blue card and a red card.
It's quite a swath of rolls. A 1, 11,
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Write this down, and also, again, all of you, don't forget, you all have access to the luck card sheet that tells
Right.
you what you have.
Are you putting it in the luck card
and-
one already?
What's up? Yeah, I'm putting it in right now.
Okay, cool.
You get plus 1d8 after making a skill or attack roll.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right. So you want me to just move my token inside then behind that pillar?
Yep.
Okay. All right, there I am.
And then let me put a blue on you.
Okay.
As you enter this space, give me 1 second to open it all. I could have just visioned this whole thing, but I did not. because that takes too much goddamn time. And who knows where you're gonna go? Reveal areas. You.
Oh shit.
Digging this music.
It's the cathedral. I might layer it in though. So that is what you see. As you enter into this room, you see a large space with this marble floor interspersed with these other tiles. It's a 50-foot high vaulted ceiling. And in the middle, right to the left of you, see this 25-foot tall red and white marble statue of Vardasane in the center of this room. And you see these pillars going down either side, leading towards these massive double doors. You get the sense that this is probably like the entrance way into here. And you've been in Vandercool at some point in your past. You've at least seen the entrance into this church before. And you've actually seen it when you walked around the outside of the building. If you guys remember correctly, the front of it looks like the open mouth of a purple worm, and it looks like it's actually got this purple worm design wrapped around the entire building. So you get, I'll just show you the front. So basically, yeah, you see the doors that would lead to the front.
Oh right. Okay, we've been here.
You've at least seen the outside of it.
Seen
and
the outside.
Yeah. So you remember seeing that before. The statue of the Hunger God is depicted chewing on a human leg. You can see it kind of from the side as it does that. You also see these alcoves around the edges of the chamber. So the one nearest to you,
this one down here, or I guess this one.
Yeah, that's probably this one. Yeah. You see inside. And what you see is what appears to be a shrouded corpse.
Shrouded corpse. Okay. Does it seem fresh?
You can't really tell from this distance. All you can tell is that it is a humanoid shape, shrouded, and it's not moving. And you know what corpse smells like.
Yeah.
So that is how you get the sense of that. And they appear to like be around the entire room. And as you enter the room, you see a number of figures in the room as well. You see these. Let me just show you what the homies look like.
Oh.
Okay. So they're kind of like clerics, but ghouly.
The badass, yeah.
They're
cool. Ghouly looking clerics, yeah.
And are they all kind of like chanting, or just one of them is?
So as you are standing there, you hear the chanting coming from in front of the statue. And as you glance around and visibly able to kind of make some movements, you see there is one standing in front, kind of arms raised, chanting towards this statue of Vardasane. And as you get a closer look, you see these vestments that they're wearing. It's slightly different than the picture, because all of them are have a symbol either embroidered on cloth over what appears to be this like light armor, or on the armor itself. It is a figure of a purple worm consuming its own tail, which you've seen many times before. It's stamped on a piece of paper you have, and it's also stamped onto all of the livery of the servants of Radomir Marrow-blight that were all over the Cathedral Island. It is one of the symbols of Vardasane.
Got it. Okay.
You see the one figure kind of chanting, but in the same room, as they're kind of making their way, walking around, you see two other figures. And they appear to be going into these alcoves and doing something with the bodies, like trying to tend to them. You see there's liquids and oils that they are kind of like opening the shrouds a little bit and rubbing onto the body. But as you get a whiff of it, it's not like it's not like an embalming fluid or anything like that. It kind of, to be honest, it kind of smells like EVOO a little bit, you know? And you get kind of a smell
Some
of
marinade.
spices a bit. Yeah, you get a smell of spices as they rub this powder into some of the fleshy bits too.
Tartar.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then these are all doors, right? Like the one I exited.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see a series of doors around, and you see these figures kind of moving through the hallway, or moving through this fane, this opening of the church, going from station to station, opening up the shrouds, rubbing in these powders and oils, like massaging the calves, like really getting into the bicep and stuff like that. Really coating them in this. Yeah.
This scene
Sure.
needs Victor's asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're at least aware of this. They're definitely preparing for some type of feast. And they're definitely preparing these corpses, not for burial or for anything, but clearly to be eaten. And it clearly is like a marinade. They're definitely putting a dry rub on some of them. They're soaking them in some sauces and stuff, and then they're wrapping the shroud back around and just letting it rest and really soak in, all that flavor.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I want to. I just want to move back stealthily. Oh shit, he's
Okay.
crossing my path.
I'm
gonna wait. I'm not gonna run into him.
Yeah, and he moves over to this figure here.
Okay. So I'm going to attempt to stealthily get back into this room.
You're gonna close the door behind you?
Yeah, I will. I'll wait. I mean, is he kind of in this alcove though when he's tending to it? He's pretty busy, right? Okay, so I'm gonna...
Yeah, he's pretty busy, and you rolled a 35. This entire encounter, you're if you weren't invisible, you're fucking invisible.
Yeah.
So on top of being rolling a 35, you're literally invisible. So yeah, you could like right in this guy's face, and at this point, no one's really gonna notice it. So you're able to creep back into the room. And you can tell your party everything that you saw.
I'm basically just going to report back, including like what's going on, as well as all of the numerous doors that are in this room that appear to be sort of configured like where we are.
What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm going to ask, do you think this is where the ritual is going to take place? Or do you think this is more the after party area?
It seems like a banquet.
Yeah, I told them it appears as if they're preparing them to feast on them, and then the statue obviously is feasting on a leg. But I guess unless Cutter would know specifically, that's...
I mean, you. Especially in this world, religion is a thing. There seems to be a number of other doors. There's clearly a hallway or something, down where you guys had encountered those other ghouls. Those ghouls seem to be guarding something, and you had previously got the sense that Abgost is to the southwest. Looking forward, that this is the entranceway to the church.
Right.
At least as far as you're concerned, you get the sense more that this is, if anything, like they're using this room as like a preparation room.
Got it.
Beyond that, it's up to your own assumptions, but you don't really see a space beyond these alcoves for a lot of activity in this room. So lots of corpses soaking in the flavor. And that's what you see as far as and make
So-
your own assumptions.
So we could easily cross the room and head west, and then assume it goes southward, because we know it's in the room below us.
I think we have to go back to the room we were just at. They're guarding something.
No.
There's no way we're going to find him without coming across guards. That's going to be impossible.
And you said they were priests, not guards.
Yeah, the ones in this room, yeah.
You do notice that they did all appear armed.
Yeah, they're armored, yeah. They like
Yeah, they do have a mace hanging from each of their belts, kind of swaying with them as they walk.
Priests of Vardazane will not be
Mm.
easy prey. Just because they aren't guards doesn't mean they won't be dangerous or alert the rest of the temple.
No, I was thinking that we are here one mission, like destroy ritual. Sylvester thinks south and west of us. Perhaps go direction he feels. If want, I can banish those two iron ghouls. We have seen them before.
For how long?
They're tough. For 8 minutes, enough to get by.
Then what happens when they come back?
Right.
Let's just
I
move.
mean, people, if we attack priests, I mean, going
Well,
to,
that is why I'm saying if we sneak across the chamber over here, we can go west and maybe go south.
I know that
You
I
think
will.
you can be good at sneaking.
Yeah, I will be good.
We're all
invisible,
invisible.
but I still Victor. Not very.
Andy's wearing
Right.
armor.
As you're all whispering to each other, you suddenly hear this loud, it's like banging sound coming from the room that you were just in, from the entrance to the temple. You hear this massive thudding.
Blooded ghouls. Ooh.
No.
Oh.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go out there and look again. I'm gonna sneak out again. I'm gonna take a look.
As you do, you see these, call them servants of the sated god, unsated god, moving towards the front of the church, and you realize that this like massive thudding sound is coming from the front doors of the church.
Oh,
You hear these ghouls talking to each other, and they're saying no one should be at the door. Places heavily guarded. We'll go see what it is. And the one opens the front door, and you hear this voice, this kind of gruff voice, kind of echo through the fane. And you say, this voice says, "There's chaos outside. There's a massacre in the Fleshlane Quarter going on right now. The troops have turned. We want you to just be aware. The cathedral is fine. It is under guard. Half the troops in the city are stationed outside. But let them know deeper in that something is happening in the city." And the priest says, "Okay, all right." And he shuts the door behind him, and he says, "You let them know farther in."
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, and we've got company. There's a massacre in the street, and the priests are coming this way.
Okay.
To warn the others.
You hear that chanting again. It sounds a little bit more frantic even. And if you peek out, you see the main priest there, arms raised up again toward Vardasane, louder than before, kind of more frantic than before. You know, and at times interspersed with like these grumblings to himself, "The time is now. The time is nigh. We cannot be interrupted." and raises his hands back up towards the statue of Vardasane. Those inside will do what they must.
We should go.
And then, yeah. And then one is still kind of stationed now, kind of at the door. They've abandoned the marinating process.
Better lead us across now.
All right. I'm going to go across the room to this door.
Okay. I need stealth checks from everybody.
Okay.
So do I just roll straight because disadvantage and I'm invisible?
So they can't see you, but they can hear you.
Right, but I would get advantage from the invisibility, disadvantage from the armor. That by
Right.
you know,
So
the rules say
straight roll.
just straight
Yep,
roll.
straight roll.
And if we
Straight
want to
roll.
bless
Same
it,
thing
bless
with-
it first.
Bless it first. If you want to bless it, and let me know.
Okay, I'm blessing mine right now.
I'll bless this as well.
Okay. So that was a Corin bless. That was a Dariana bless.
Fuck. Victor doesn't matter.
Oh, man.
And that was a
Corin.
Tripped again.
bless.
Oh crap!
You big
I forgot to
fucker.
add the plugin.
Somebody tickled his.
Nobody tickled Victor.
So tokens are tokens. If you're moving, move.
Yeah, I moved.
What do I hold to roll?
I mean, I don't even know if I made it out the door, Ryan. Like I tripped or something.
What do I roll for advantage?
You hold
it's shift or
shift.
control,
Shift,
and
yeah.
either one is fine.
Oh, right. 22.
Yeah, your card does not help you at all.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you're good. So if you're moving, you're moving. Same thing. Brian needs to roll as well, and Dariana, if you're crossing the thing, cross the thing.
I don't know where you want me to stop at.
That's good. You as you're kind of hurrying by, you kind of glance back towards Dariana, who's still in the room. And you actually just bang off of this pillar here, like full, like, you know, when you try to walk through a doorway and you're like,
That giant
you just
pauldron.
missed.
Yeah.
You get that like bang off the thing and kind of keep rolling. That's what happens. And there's this massive clank as you bounce off of this and keep moving. The chanting stops, and this guy actually starts moving quickly down this direction, like looking around. And again, if you
Victor
guys are moving,
Yeah, he just keeps moving, I guess. He's not prone.
I'm going to go into this door.
yeah.
Or try to.
Okay, I moved, and Brian's moving.
All right, so you're gonna go through this door.
Yep.
Yeah, as you open the door, and it opens, and you can make your way into there. But as you open the door, this guy is here and just sees this door randomly open and start making his way towards this door.
That's awesome.
It was the wind.
Corin steps in and is gonna frickin' just clock this guy as hard as he can with an overhead chop.
Okay.
guess-
Why don't you roll me an attack roll with advantage, and with the door open, anyone that wants to move into the room can move into the room.
The door's open so I can see what's going on.
Yeah, the door
Okay.
here is currently open.
Gotcha.
So a 24 to hit with the Corpse Slayer Glaive. So go ahead and roll your damage.
And let's see here. How much extra? It's 1d8. On top of
So
that.
total of 19 damage. As suddenly this guy is struck out of nowhere, moving towards this sound and this door that mysteriously opens. And he cries out as he's just suddenly slashed open by this invisible thing. But I think your invisibility is now gone.
It's now gone. Yep.
It's now gone.
As soon as you attack.
Yeah. So you are suddenly visible to this figure. So standing right in front of this servant of the unsated god now is Corin Fleshran, this armored Derricool, wielding this glaive. And this guy calls out and just and this other priest comes around the corner and says, "What is going on? Who are you? What have you done?"
Don't say anything, and I'm just gonna grab this guy and pull him with me, I guess. I don't know. I've kind of let the cat out of the bag here. I should just kill him as best I can.
All right, I need everybody to roll for initiative.
All right.
And here we go.
There
I
was
did
the
not
stealth
have my-
check I needed.
Don't forget to click your tokens before you roll initiative.
I forgot to click me, but I got a 21.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
it too.
All right.
No worries, we'll add you in. Oh, you didn't. You're in. You're good.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Somebody is
That one's for Brian.
got some music coming through there.
Okay. And as far as no, we'll just do this. So, Corin, you started it off. So as you slice into this guy and reveal your location, and both priests become aware of this, Cutter, you look back and that's what you see, because there's no one in your way of the door because the door is open and everyone's fucking invisible. You see directly out as suddenly this blood spurts across this priest as he screams out, and then boom, Corin Fleshrind is standing in front of the guy, glaive just swung down. You got your first attack on your turn, and we'll just say that you start initiative, Corin. You had a slice down, and this guy calls out, and the other priest, comes around the corner and sees you. What do you want to do?
Can I finish the rest of my attacks on this guy then?
Go for it. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Here we go. What do we got here?
14's gonna miss.
Okay. I'll follow up with the second attack.
29 will miss. How many attacks do you get?
3.
Yep. So that's your third one. So you get
And here's the damage for that last roll. So we got
23.
yeah,
23.
yes, 23.
And don't forget, all of you, if you zoom in a little bit, I have those health bars. It's not numbered, but it does give you a general sense of how someone looks. So the health bar is the size of a token, which is the size of 1 square.
Okay.
You see what I'm talking about?
No. Not at all.
Oh,
Seen them before.
You know what?
I don't see a health bar on them.
how about now?
There we go. Oh, fun.
All right.
You guys see the initiative?
Nope, I don't.
Yeah,
There it
there we
is.
go.
There we go.
Thank you.
Oh, if I turn it off, it goes away for you guys too? I thought you could just click on it and open it yourself. Guess not. So we'll say Corin started it off, and we'll go with this order. Did you want to do anything else? We'll say that your move didn't happen yet.
No, I'm gonna stay right there.
Okay. All right. This guy reacts to your attack. you are unaffected by his stench because you, first of all, are Derakul, so it doesn't really matter. And he is just going to grab at his mace because he doesn't have the wherewithal to cast a spell, and strike at you with his Mace of the Devourer. Does a 16 hit you?
Nope. 19's my AC.
So he swings, and actually your glaive, comes up and it clanks against your glaive. So then he just spins around, double hands it this time, and tries to hit you from the other side. That'll be a 19.
Right on the button.
All right. So that's that plus that in necrotic damage. And what's weird to you is normally you don't feel the feeling of rot and death when you're struck by something, but for some reason it does affect you, and you feel the force of Vardasane strike the side of your head as you take 17 points of damage, and this already undead flesh on your face, there's these black kind of tendrils come off of it, and it almost peels away some of the beef jerky like face as necrotic energy infuses it, and he calls out to the other priest, and at that point it's Cutter, who, looking over his shoulder, sees everything that just played out, the slashes with the glaive, and the strikes with the mace as the sound of combat rings out and the screams. What are you doing?
All right, I just kind of disappointingly I grunt and shoulder my way out the door, making my way to this other side of the pillar and attacking this guy that I saw who was just attacked.
Okay, go for it. Roll your attacks.
Okay.
A 22 will absolutely hit.
All right, cool. And then I'm going to do the damage and then sneak attack. Oh, it automatically did it.
What's the necrotic? Is that that's the Morena dagger, right?
Oh, weird. Yeah, but I don't know why it rolled that. Yeah, don't worry about that. It's the sneak attack plus 9.
Okay.
Yeah. Dope.
So 38. And as the mace kind of strikes the side of your head, this still invisible until now Cutter shoots forward around the column, doesn't even really make his way all the way around the column, almost grabs onto it and just spins around it. And then as the mace is pulling back for another strike, the dagger just slides onto the armor into this guy's ribs, up into almost piercing their undead heart. And you hear this before it's the sound of nothing.
The sound of nothing?
And and the thing just crumples in front of you as you slide the blade out of it. And then you're visible now behind this pillar.
Right.
You want to do anything else?
No, I'm done. Yeah, I can't. I used all my movement to get there, so I'm good.
Sylvester, you see this action take place. What do you want to do?
All right. I'm going to run to here. And he's getting 3 Eldritch Blasts.
All right, go for it. Roll them all.
1, 2, 3. So, 10, I'm assuming missed. 27 for 14 points of damage. And actually, this would be a 17, not a 16. Because of my new staff of Parthenon gives me +2 on attacks, not +1.
Okay. You can factor that in real quick if you want to just go modify, but you can just say it's an extra one each time too. It doesn't matter.
Extra 1, and actually it's an extra. And it's +2 to damage as well. So my 27 would actually be a 28, and it'd be 16 points of damage. My 16 would be a 17 for 12. I don't know if that hits or not.
The 17 just barely hits. Their AC is 17. And for those of you that haven't seen this before, Sylvester is wielding something strikingly different than what he normally does. And I believe for most of you that are watching, since as you hit with the first strike, you become visible, you see this shape in his hands. Let me just get to. I thought I had it in the view window here. Here you go. You see this shape. This.
Wow.
It's a rod, not a wand, so it's a little bit longer. It's this almost lion head on the top. Exactly what it looks like right there. And holding from the blue part, reaching out and striking from that is what you see him holding now. I previously probably tucked it kind of deeper into the robes because I know you have your sweet jacket. You have your Wand of the War Mage, I believe, as well.
Right.
But that is what you see him wielding now.
But I'm using this
and you
gives me a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. And then are you doing anything else?
No. So, and actually my total damage will be 15 and 12, so 27.
Yeah.
Because my
got it.
Wand of the War Mage was already calculated, but that was a +1. This is a +2. So,
Oh,
so
so
we'll be
okay.
adding
So
one different than what it was before.
+2 back in. Gotcha. All right. Brian, if he wants to do anything.
Yeah, he might as well come out and slam this guy. Do his double
Okay.
attack.
All right, roll those double slams.
Does he get advantage for not being seen?
Oh yeah, you get advantage because you're invisible. Oh,
I wanted to
on the
finish my-
first attack.
And I just wanted to finish my
Oh
move.
yeah. Go for it. Yeah, go. Finish your
Just
move.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sylvester, you could actually re-roll one of those Elder Splash real quick because the first one was with advantage and you missed on the first one. Did you roll that with advantage, Dariana? It doesn't matter. It still hits.
That hits, right?
Yeah, you.
All
Yeah,
right.
you could roll
Yeah,
to
that's
see if
right.
it crits though.
Okay, here.
That's true.
Nope, you're good.
That same exact roll.
Dude, but get it out of the system.
Yeah.
There's so many ones tonight.
All right, it's a little better.
Oh, you crit failed on the first one. Okay, so it doesn't. Yeah, and we'll just take the highest damage roll.
Wait,
yeah,
I
we'll
did?
say.
No, she didn't. That was Sylvester.
No. He did twice.
Oh.
So you slam, striking down on him once. So roll your second slam. This time just with no advantage.
Okay. Mm,
16 to hit just misses on the second hit. Oh, did you roll an advantage on? No, that's just as another roll. Yeah. So that misses. So does he want to move anywhere else? He just moves back. All right, Victor. And you also now are visible. The spell is gone.
Yeah.
I guess we can do a little. I can do a little marking. You can go though, Victor.
So Victor is going to. He's gonna kind of move through. He's still invisible. So he's gonna actually kind of. Let me option here. He's gonna come right here, and then if this guy, he's like holding an attack with that Mace of Destruction that he has, and then what he'd like to do is, if that guy steps forward, at that point, he's gonna whack him with the Mace of Destruction and then put all kinds of hurt on him. With advantage.
Okay.
That's his turn.
It's his turn,
attack.
and he steps forward.
Okay. There we go. It triggers an attack with his mace. There we go.
13's gonna miss.
Fuck, shit. Okay. I guess I'm visible now, and that must be my
You
turn.
are visible, and that's your whole turn because you
It
held
must
it
be
instead of
because I
hitting
held
him.
it. Shit.
Yeah. So you swing, and he although you are completely invisible, and he walks around the pillar.
Oh wait,
he,
I have advantage though. I have advantage. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sure. Roll it real quick. Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
My bad.
I haven't rolled combat in quite a while.
I know, it's been so long. Sorry.
Nope,
Worse.
you miss.
There we go.
So
Chernobog
as you kind of hit, somehow again you're just slipping all over the place. Maybe you stepped in something gooey in the tunnel, and you just kind of whiff
The
it.
EVO.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. The marinade.
The
And you
marinade.
clank into the stone above him, with your mace, and suddenly you're visible in front of him, and he, because you are right in his face now, is just going to strike out with his as well. So the first one is a miss. So as he swings in, you just take a big step back, and it goes right in front of your face. And with the second one,
Thank God.
he raises to strike down, and you actually bring up your mace, and it clanks off of it. Mace of Destruction versus Mace of Devouring. And he misses with both his attacks. Corin, you are now up, as right in front of you, this figure just drops, and from behind, you just see this arm kind of pull back, and you recognize Cutter's arm, the dagger slide out of this dead body. What are you doing now?
Without missing a beat, Corin steps around and steps right in here to make an attack. Is that, how are you guys doing flanking rolls now?
Flanking is the very first time you're directly across, they have a -2 to AC.
So I'm not flanking.
For the turn.
Just going to take the full attack actions. So,
Go for
1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack. Did that last one not roll?
Crit fail on the first one.
Shit.
Yeah.
And I don't have a card.
Oh, that's only for ability checks and skill checks. It's not for attack.
Roll
rolls.
20 has been brutal tonight.
Yeah, so just 1 hit out of those, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Okay.
so roll your damage for that.
And here's the extra D8 for the damage to undead creatures. And that creature has disadvantage on saving throws against effects that turn undead until the start of my next turn. Not that really matters all that much. So,
Yeah,
looking
so you
at a
come in
12.
now. Yeah. Strike with the blade as he's swinging with the mace and things like that. He pulls back just in time to see you, and your slices go down. This guy obviously knows how to fight, and he's just knocking the glaive out of the way. You clip him with 1 shot. With the third one, he strikes it out of the way and snarls at you, his eyes glowing red at this point. And this guy's dead. Cutter, you are back up.
All right, I am moving forward, squeezing around this guy, facing him and attacking. So
All right, go for it.
let me.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
All right, so here we go. All right, it auto did a sneak attack. So it is 37.
That did slashing and
Wait, what did it?
Sneak attack
two-handed
plus 10.
and then sneak attack. The two-handed was okay. 1d10. Gotcha.
Yeah, I did.
So yeah, it's
slashing.
37 points of damage. Yeah. So as he's like knocking both things out of the way, like blocking the mace from Victor, and then suddenly the glaive comes in, and he knocks most of those blows out of the way, but you can see him kind of like just trying gets one shot with the glaive across. Suddenly, as these all these weapons are piercing around, the half sword of the Margrave just comes up and in and just gets this guy right in the throat, and you twist as you yank it back out, and he can't even speak to call out to Vardasane as he drops dead.
Okay, so they're both down. I'm immediately moving and grabbing this guy. Dead body there.
Okay.
And I want to pull him and put him in here.
Okay, yeah. You immediately walk over, you tuck the staff of Parzon, get your arms up underneath, and just start dragging him across the floor. And the corpse gets
Victor
tucked into this room.
sees that and does the same thing.
And is there
And you
like
drag him in.
is there like a blood trail or evidence where I dragged them to?
Probably.
Did they
We
bleed?
fucked them up, right?
Yeah, there's blood.
I mean, you
sprays.
fucked
They're
him
cool.
up. Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, if there's not blood per se, because you don't really need a ton of hemoglobin,
Yeah.
there's
There's
still
still viscera
fluids.
of some sort.
Beat 'em can
There's
prestidigitate.
juice. Yeah, there's juices for sure.
There's juices.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, guys.
Okay.
They're juices.
Dariana, do you
So
have,
you-
Cool
do you have
juice.
prestidigitation? Or
No, that was beat 'em. Remember we used to clean up when we hit the sewer?
Right.
Yeah, that takes a little while too. So
Yeah.
I think we
I
need to
will-
get moving though,
I-
because the third guy left.
Yeah,
Okay,
and I will
Yeah.
just say for you guys too, your overarching goal here is to stop the ritual,
The ritual, yeah.
thereby kind of stopping Blackfly and Marrow Blight, and you're on a time crunch.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
as far
Okay.
as necessarily, I think your goal is more like hit hard, hit fast than like
Yeah.
necessarily like hide your trail. And at least from this point, that you have allies on the outside that are keeping other things from coming in. That is some of the things you did succeed at. So I want to make sure you do know that. Whether you're, yeah, you know that the Marquis said that he was going to make sure nothing came in after you, so that you don't need to worry about soldiers and things. So what you see is what you see at this point. And you also know that the Church of Anahuacma had some things kind of up their sleeve as well.
And so when Victor steps into that room, like I'm pretty sure, is Dariana still invisible?
Dariana, well, yeah, Victor,
Yeah.
you are
So
no
he
longer invisible.
he kind of
so-
like
I
he
didn't-
pulls out that like beautiful ornate dagger, and he's like, Dariana, I cannot see you, but I hope you are here somewhere. Everyone else can be seen. Perhaps time for you to join us with blood armor, because I think for you to put on the blood armor, you have to attack me for a
Yeah.
point. So
All right, I'll take the
Well,
blade
you also,
from your hand.
sorry, you also weren't in the turn order.
Oh, I
I
wasn't.
completely didn't even, yeah.
That's fine. I rolled a 1 anyway, so I wouldn't have had to
Uh,
fight.
Corin
Um,
says to everyone, "Let's be quick," and lines up to
Yeah.
head down the hallway.
Yeah.
and I'll
I'm
take
gonna-
the point of damage, and you got blood armor on.
Okay, cool.
And then my
Prior to any, I don't know, final combat that might happen, for the course of action through parts of this, do you guys just want to keep this turn order and I'll actually add Dariana to it?
Ye-
Or do you want to roll every time?
It'll be
Probably
quicker.
faster if we do this.
Are you
Don't-
good
It's
with
Although
a
my
1
initiative
every
is
time,
0.
Dariana?
But
Yeah.
uh,
All right. Okay. So, yeah. So you guys make your way into this hallway now, kind of with more haste and less sneak.
and I'm gonna tell my thrall out there that now's the time to go ahead and attack the pleasure barge.
All right.
This is great.
This is what you see down the hallway. You see a number of doors. You see this door here. You see this door here, and you see this door here.
Any markings, or are they just all like standard doors we've always seen?
This door here seems a little bit more hallway-ish, I want to say. This one seems a little bit
Okay.
more ornate,
Okay.
and this one seems like smaller. It also seems more unused, if that makes, like, older, like
As we go down the hallway,
Less-
can Sylvester use his staff to find?
to lead
dude.
you as you
Like
march
a drum
with your
major.
tuba. I don't understand the yeah.
So
Band
he
major.
could identify
major.
where Blackfly was or somebody.
Yeah. Where, yeah. I mean, also,
I used it
people
for
can-
Abgos, but that uses charges every time I do it. So
Okay, but maybe it could help us with one of these doors.
it gives me a general direction of where he is, which we kind of already know.
I was saying, like, if we went to the south end of the hall, right, and used it, then, like, if he's still south, then we know stay there. But, like, if he's north of us somewhere, because, like, he was southwest, right, from where we were, which is, like,
So-
all of these doors.
Let's do that when we get as far south as we
Yeah,
think we can get.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
Because it looks like the hallway ends, right?
Yeah. Yeah, to a fancier door.
To a fancier door. Let's go
So-
down to the fanciest door.
I want to
Victor's
listen
a
at
little
the
shy
fancy
after
door.
knocking off, bouncing his armor off of all the pillars, so he's hanging back a little bit.
Ryan and
All
Gary
the way
on
back
fun.
there.
Dariana and Brian still hanging out in the back room there.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
So as you start making your way down towards this door, it opens.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Blazing.
Yeah. And it comes out and you see this guy's kind of head down and starts walking forward and just kind of bumps right into you, Cutter. And it's
So
just
do we
like,
get-
oh,
Do we get do I get a
Corin
surprise attack?
grapples him to the ground with like trying to go for a hand over the face like immediately.
yeah, you can surprise absolutely and try to do that. So that's what you want to do is grapple and try to cover his mouth.
Yeah,
Did he
so
close the door behind
Corin's
us?
trying to take him to the ground and cover his mouth so that Cutter can do his business.
Okay. Yeah, he actually like walked out head down, kind of opened the door, shut it behind him, stepped forward, bounced off Cutter's chest, looks up and sees the party, and suddenly Corin leaps out, grabs this guy, and tries to cover his mouth. So do me a strength check with advantage. And Cutter, since you're right in front of him too, I'll let you act as well. You guys can actually like kind of, you know, as you see one doing something, you can react, and I'll give you one move together, all with advantage. As you see him
21.
kind of grapple him, what do you want to do?
I want to
Cutter.
stick him.
Just want to stick him?
Just stick
All
him.
right.
Just gut him. So I still
Okay.
have my sword out, so I'll just use that.
Does my
Yeah, he
grappling
fails miserably on a strength check.
give
Yeah,
him
so
give
you
Cutter give him advantage? Basically,
he already
that
has
I'm-
advantage right now because
Oh,
of
I
the
did?
situation
Okay.
right now. Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
there we go.
absolutely.
Boom. So
There we go.
slice I pierce him for this.
Oh, yeah.
So
38.
yeah, 38.
Ooh.
So
Damn,
many
son.
dice.
Bag o' dice.
Yeah. Corin, as he walks out the door, you put a hand over his mouth and you actually kind of spin him around and grip him by the throat. And he's actually like kind of held up against you and you push, kind of into the wall a little bit. So you're actually holding him with your back to the
excellent.
wall. And,
Perfect.
and Cutter just comes in and you actually feel the blade kind of like go right against you, not piercing you, but goes straight in as it comes and then pulls back out. And you have this hand over his throat or hand over his mouth, like hand wrapped around him. Blade comes out. All of you now see this. And as you strike, you just kind of hear this like muffled, choked, like cry against your hand. But again, still muffled and very weak now because he just got a fucking sword through him. What are the rest of you doing one shot right now, real quick? Victor, you're the closest.
He instantly puts a chill touch on him.
So you just reach out and grab him and
Cast
do
it.
that. So roll the
Touch.
chill touch.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like with the?
It's because it's like a
around
fight.
the
Yeah.
throat.
Enough space.
Yeah. Go for it. Roll it.
Hey,
Boom, boom.
you'd know better than chill touching a Daracool.
No, because I'm a death cleric.
Oh, perfect.
So 17. And then he has disadvantage if he tries to attack me.
Sylvester, you see all this kind of happening at once. It gets gripped up. Sword comes in. Suddenly a skeletal hand's choking him. So
No.
that strangled cry is choked off as this spectral skeletal hand chokes him.
I don't have the spell on my thing, but it's in my staff. Is magic missile. From where I'm at, it's the only way I can hit
Yeah,
him.
baby.
Okay.
But I don't
All right.
know. I guess I can Google it really quick.
It's just D4s. Magic missile always hits.
Yeah.
So how many?
What level does it cast at?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll cast at your level.
Oh, so 5th.
Jesus.
So what would 5th level magic missile be?
So start out with 3,
Go
4,
ham.
5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
8d4.
Yeah. Auto hits.
So 18. Ooh,
Uh,
wow.
Ones.
Dude.
Plus
Roll
1
20's
on
killing
all
it.
of them, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
plus
18
8 more.
plus 8.
so
So
26.
26.
Yeah.
26. Actually, it's plus 2 on all damage.
Oh. Plus 8 more, 26. 34.
Yeah. So this guy is literally like barely hanging on, almost limp. Dariana.
Maybe I will do a firebolt.
Firebolt.
Yeah.
Okay. So the flame crackles through the air because this guy is actually more like here at this point. And you reach out, and how does your firebolt is just a firebolt? How do you throw it again? Is it like an overhand throw? Is it like a beam?
Oh no.
It's with advantage.
Wait, what?
Oh, roll with advantage.
It's with advantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, shit. Don't roll it again.
I know.
God, it's been brutal.
I know.
Dude, roll 20. Ryan has it set on
That
a
worked.
1
Hard
every
mode,
third roll.
hard mode.
Yeah.
Hard mode. Yep.
You guys would have survived if you didn't roll all those ones.
Did I do it
Yeah.
again? No.
No.
Wait.
14. You got a
Okay.
14.
Okay.
You did roll a 5, though.
Yeah, not great.
It was a little stinky.
It was pretty.
Yeah.
stupid. Didn't hit.
Pretty stinky. Yeah. As you as you blast the flame, you actually are kind of aiming like right as you walk in the room to hit the guy as his head comes up. But suddenly, as all of this action is taking place and he's gripped up and like pulled back, the flame actually just goes right past everybody's face by like, and all of you feel the heat singe as it strikes against the far wall. Does Brian want to do anything?
Yeah, sure. He'll come up and slam attack if he
Yeah.
can.
Yes, he can super slam attack with advantage. Just roll like d20, 4 times or whatever, and we can just add your modifier.
Does
Yeah,
that?
plenty. So as the flame goes by, your companion kind of like gushes across the ground past you, and then just like punches with his fist into the guy's face, and it like wraps around it almost like jello, and you can see some of it like go into his ears and eyes and stuff like that. And when it pulls back, it actually rips his eyes and tongue out into Brian's body, and you see it kind of like goo into him, and then the fist just kind of stays there to like, and the guy drains a little bit, and then it just goes limps in your arms, Cutter, and he falls to the ground.
Corin will do his best to gently set him down after that fury of attacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Corin spends a second too rifling through his stuff to see if maybe this guy was like a higher standing priest, since he was the one that went to the back. See if he's got anything good on him.
Not anything crazy. He's got this mace of destruction.
Nah, Vardazane ain't my
Or I'm sorry,
jam.
Mace of the Devourer.
Yeah, Vardazane ain't my jam, so.
Yeah. Otherwise, priestly stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Victor
Sigil
will just grab
symbols.
it and chuck it into the bag.
Got it. All right. So, which door are you guys going to choose?
I was gonna check out the bottom one, the fancy one. Listen to
I'd
it.
say he
Listen or
went to go
sniff.
warn the others. So probably the door he came through is where we want to go.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
And I guess it's still
Um,
open, right?
No, he kind of closed it. He like opened the door with his head down and then just kind of like absentmindedly just like flicked it behind him as he
Got it.
walked towards you. So the door was closed. So as you go down to that door, it is closed, but it is not locked if you kind of give the handle a jiggle. And what are you doing? Listening at the door?
Yeah, I want to listen. See if anybody's coming, maybe.
Sure. Roll me an investigation check.
Of course, an investigation. Okay.
Where's that little gnome when you need him?
Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty good +0.
If only you had blessed it, right?
It's like the one thing that
bless
you don't automatically succeed at.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, in the realm of roguishness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, sub 25.
Everything else
only
I'm
an
not very
18.
good at. You
Yeah.
know, like charisma and
Yeah. So
history.
you hear sounds on the other side. You hear a little bit of movement. You hear some talking.
Okay. Can I somewhat distinguish, like, maybe is it just
Yeah.
two people talking to each other, maybe, or more?
Let's see. More than anything, you hear more loud. You rolled an 18. You hear chanting.
Oh.
I'll say, and it seems to be reverberating. Any other sound is kind of disguised by that sound.
All right. I'm gonna peek in. The Cracksworth again.
Okay. Just another little cracks worth.
Yep.
We'll say hallways open in, so it goes this way. So as you get a bit of a cracks worth,
Oh shit.
Oh, look at that.
this is
I believe
what
we found
you see. You
Oh, that's awesome.
looking in. The number of figures, and this chanting now reverberates through all of you, or so all of you can hear it quite loudly.
Is anybody recognizable from this distance?
Oh,
Yes.
yes. So let me actually show you a little picture, a little something. It's not exactly perfect, but it is a picture nonetheless that will give you a sense of kind of what you see in this room. I'm gonna put it over here. Flip it, and then I'll just
Oh, you kind of
Let's
moved it into
reveal.
the... Okay. I saw it slide into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Oh, shit. Are you going to move it
This
over?
is
or
kind
do
of
you
a
want me to
sense.
move it into the... I'll move it into
No, you can just move it to that, and then I'll just get this out of the way and rehide everything. This kind of gives you a sense of what you see happening in front of you right now, at least at a glance. You look forward, and you see what appears to be this figure in this kind of odd getup.
Oh.
I'll bring over. I'll actually just reveal a couple other. I'll do this over here. You see this figure.
Oh my god.
And then
The candles.
I'm going to blow him out.
All right.
And he dies.
Gust of wind.
see this figure.
Oh, he's got
He's
the
got the
black
banner.
fly.
Yeah, he's not really holding his banner necessarily.
Okay.
But you know, you get it kind of tells you who you're talking about.
Gotcha.
Are they lowering a dude into a pit of these, like...
So I'll
And I
give
think
you a
we know who
little.
the dude is.
I hate
I'll give you a little walkthrough.
Oh my gosh.
What you're seeing right now is who you can only assume is Radomir Mariblythe, the High Priest of Vardasane, and you hear this chanting. And instead of just hanging there, you see this figure is actually in a cage attached to a winch.
Oh.
Vardasane is standing over this, out over this pit on this crazy. I moved it down here a little bit so you can focus in on that.
Okay.
Kind of bone created structure in this entire area and room, chanting towards Vardasane. You see this figure back here, who you know very well to be Duke Drago Blackfly. You've seen his face before one of the last times you were here in the Underdark, in the Underworld. You also see a figure over here at the winch, kind of holding on to it.
Where's the winch? Am I looking at the wrong image?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're
Mine's not
you're
supposed to be
up
looking.
here.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
I was,
kind
I
of
was looking,
bouncing between pictures
sorry, I was
here.
looking at the big one.
Bouncing between pictures. Yeah. The cage is hanging over this kind of pit of these weird, like white snakes, almost look like larval purple worms before they get their color in their full shape. But right in the middle is this opening big enough for the cage to go through. You see other soldiers kind of in the room. And as you peek through, fuck it. This is what you see, and you describe it to the party.
Okay.
You see this other figure standing right here, and it's a figure you recognize, or at least the face attached to the face mask of his helmet that he is wearing.
Oh, motherfucker.
Is a face that you recognize.
It's Ray.
The last time you saw him, you were in the Margrave Forest. This is Ray's. This is the man that the Derricool that took your face last time you were in the same room with Duke Drago Blackfly and pinned your face to the faceplate of his helmet. When you last saw him in the Margrave, you had battled him almost to his death before he pulled out some type of potion that turned him ethereal and he disappeared. He is in the room controlling the winch. You see a couple of other soldiers in the room and not much more. But as you're watching this, as you see this happening, suddenly you hear the sound of bells. You hear the 5th bell strike. And Radomir calls out one final time to Vardasane in Derricool, reverberating through so all of you can hear it. And you see Rays start cycling this winch. And the cage disappear down through this hole in the floor.
What?
Let's go.
Yeah, I
Does not wait.
on that
Charges
cage.
into the room.
All right.
As Victor, I guess, kind of.
No ases. Are all of you charging into the room?
Yeah. Are these
Yeah.
real quick though? Is this like a high, like a banister? Can I like kind of skirt along the side of it?
So you're actually looking at what appears to be some type of balcony space
Right.
over this this area here. This is a good like 10 to 12 feet kind of looking down at this areas. And then these stairs that lead down.
But
so if you're all moving into the room,
Yeah.
Victor
move into the room.
Victor touches Cutter.
Victor is gonna stand there for a second and listen.
Okay.
So if you're all moving into the room, move into the room. If you're not, you're not. But the chimes are happening. These bells are ringing as this chanting to Vardasane is still coursing through the air, and Rays is winding this down. As you burst into the room, Rays looks up towards you, towards all of you. Everyone looks towards you. The chanting stops as you all kind of burst in. And the cage goes through the floor. Rays looks up, sees this figure from his past that he recognizes, and keeps winding, and just says, come on then. And that's where we're going to end our session for the evening. So if you have something you'd like to do, you can do it at the beginning of the next session.
Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Thank you.
I was going to say, he looks up and sees my javelin flying at his face, but
Nice.
you know.
So that is where we will pick up on Wednesday as you all burst into the inner sanctum of the Bone Cathedral, watching the Duke Avgost lowered into this strange pit in the room with Radomir Maribblight, Duke Drago Blackfly, a couple of soldiers, probably bodyguards, escorts, something like that, and Ray's figure from Cutter's past, wearing Cutter's face on his helmet, lowering Duke Avgost in, and at this point laughing as he sees you.
Did we meet Rays in that mushroom grotto place, or no?
You did, yeah.
Oh shit!
You did.
Okay.
Ray's at that time was actually
Yes.
leading the forces. It's the first time you actually saw Duke Drago Blackfly's livery on anybody. It was actually a number of the members of, and Cutter, you told this story before, so do you mind if I retell parts of it?
No, go for it.
It's the members of Cutter's old Imperial hunting group.
Yeah.
That through some way, shape, or form, they had actually previously worked directly for Duke Drago Blackfly as Imperial hunters, and apparently had been promoted up into his army. And Ray's was leading that group. A number of old, I think Calder was his name, a number of other figures from Cutter's past, all wearing the livery of Duke Drago Blackfly, leading this effort in the Margrave, looking for something to help with their machinations. All were murdered by all of you, including the necromancers that were there, trying to harvest the essence of the Margrave to an extent.
That's
before, as I said before, Ray's battled almost to his death, took some type of potion, and turned ethereal or invisible and just disappeared away.
That's right. Oh my god.
And it was the one
And
time,
That was awesome.
one and only time in like 2.5 years where Cutter wasn't all about the mission.
Yeah.
Shit was personal.
Yeah, shit was personal.
Professional
And that's
most of the time.
Yeah. And it wasn't until you were in the Margrave where a mistake is me as a DM, you saw Cutter's what's underneath there, and then you saw Cutter's actual face again pinned to the front of this guy's faceplate on his helmet. So when it's up, it's there, but when it's down, it's actually looking through Cutter's old face, looking towards you.
That's awesome.
Sweet. All right. Time to kill some fuckers.
Yeah, it's funny. You guys kind of did a Merkborg here and bypassed a fat chunk of this little area.
Yeah.
You
You guys
that guy
wanted to go
ran out.
south. I
The
knew
third
it.
dude gave it away.
Nice call, Cutter. I didn't want to go this way.
I know.
If you guys would have taken another round or two in combat, he was gonna pop out that door back to you guys. But you went pretty quickly and rushed straight down and just boop, there it was.
Nice.
So some of your machinations are coming to fruition. There's some type of disruption in the Fleshling Quarter that caused a message that needed to be sent deep within that actually kind of led him to even leave that room too, or else it could have come out differently. So the machinations appeared to come to fruition, at least some of them. So good
pleasure
work
barge.
with the disruption. You don't even know what the fuck is going on with the pleasure barge, but you do know
We
that there's an
never went.
unsanctioned massacre. There's an unsanctioned massacre happening in the Fleshling Quarter,
Uh,
and all of the other troops that aren't there are around the Bone Cathedral. So,
so good.
and now at this point that you're in the inner sanctum,
all
you don't know
because I was
what
burned
else is
by that
possibly happening
drow.
in the city. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna pick up on Wednesday, 7:00 sharp. We're gonna try to be here, and we're gonna do the in part 2. It'll be our 50th episode on stream. It'll be our 80th game session, because I think the last time we did a wrap-up recap, it was like 30.5 or 25.5 on stream.
Yeah.
Is what it was called. So we're gonna see if we finish next session and hit a nice round 50 streamed episodes. 80 total game sessions across 2.5 years. As of today is exactly 2.5 years, because we started
Dang.
September 4th of 2019? No, 2020 it must have been. No. Is it longer then?
We started.
We started
in
before
19.
September of 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, 19.
Oh yeah.
Summer of
So
2019.
this is way more than 2.5 years. It's 2022, isn't it? No,
No, but we're
19
only
to
in
20,
April, yeah.
20 to 21, and then half. Yeah, that's how math works. That's how dates work, people. In case you didn't know, you got a lesson here on the Adventure Archive. 2.5 years as of today.
But we've had good medical info about the smell of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting smell. Kind of like gasoline. You like it or you don't. You know, I love the smell of gasoline. Aside from like not being poisoned and dying and all that kind of stuff, I'm upset that they have all of those like fume sucking things on all the pumps. But yeah, questions, concerns, issues, we're all good for next time.
Yeah, that's great.
You guys have again, any quick actions in the beginning we can decide. You guys basically burst in the room and see what's happening, and that's where we're at. So catch us on Wednesday for what maybe, hopefully, we'll see what happens. The true final episode of the Dark Kingdoms here. And on Thursday for our Zero session for Death in Space, run by Jason.
Yeah.
And I will be here, and Dariana will be here, Jess, and Ducky will also be here. 3/4 of the normal posse from the normal Thursday game, Merkborg. And yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to try to look for a raid real quick. And we will get out of here for the evening. So we're actually going to cut to our credit screen as we do that, which we do every week. Just thanks to all the supporters. And we will see you on Wednesday and Thursday. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye.